Your chicken math not mathing anymore. Is your feed bill multiplying along with your chickens? Teach you how to divide your feed bill in half so your husband won't even notice those extra chickens. First, you're gonna need some buckets. I have less than 100 in my flock, so these little Lowe's buckets that I got for about $3.50 each, including the lids, is what works for me. If you have a bigger flock, you can do bigger buckets. Alright, here we have day 1. I have numbers on these so I know what day cycle I'm on because it takes 1, 2, 3, 4 days to ferment as long as you need it. So there's going to be a 4-day rest period before you actually have a daily feed. We have all of the fermented feed out of the bucket into the feed bucket. Alright, I usually like to add all of my grains in here, whole grains. You can put the whole grains in with the fermented feed, but I just prefer to save room by doing it separately. Alright, let me put my grains in real quick. All I got is Milo and oats today, so they're going to have to get over that. Pretty easy to mix up. Little clumpy. Break it up. Just like you would if you were making cold buttered biscuits. Okay. So usually it would take double this amount of feed according to the recommendations on the back of the bag. Each chicken would get 1/2 cup to 3/4 cup, but with fermented feed, you can, if you ferment it long enough, it can be up to half of what is normally recommended. So I am feeding my flock half the amount of feed I normally would by fermenting the feed. I wish you could smell this. It smells amazing, like fermented vegetables. Other benefits of fermented feed include being more bioavailable. If you are unable to buy organic feed, the fermentation process has been proven to decrease the amount of pesticides in your feed. The bacteria eats it and turns it into beneficial gut bacteria. So it helps with things you gotta do, especially if you live in country like me where spore count is high. You take you some apple cider vinegar and you put about a tablespoon in each batch. I'm gonna take this little bucket over to the water hose. Now if you got a bunch of chlorine in your water, this might not be your best bet. You might want to let your water sit out. So that chlorine dissipates. Because it can kill that beneficial bacteria needed to start the fermentation process. Now that we got the water in there the way you want it, and the apple cider vinegar on the top, we're going to close the lid so no more mold spores can get in there. And we're going to pick these up and put it on top. So tomorrow we got, excuse me, Tiger Lily, number 2 ready to go. So guys, chick, 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 chick. Now you can use whatever pellet chicken feed you want to use. I use layer pellets, 20% protein for mine, and I add some grains into mine. You don't have to do that. You can use chick starter pellets to do it. You can use all flock for it. You can use whatever feed works for you. Though, if you are having a mold problem with your feed, despite using apple cider vinegar and keeping it lid tight along with water, about a 1/2 inch above the feed before it absorbs it and ferments, then you might be dealing with a feed quality issue. Important to remember, during the summer, whenever it gets to about 80 degrees at night, you will not need 4 buckets because that would be too long for it to ferment. It won't hurt it, but the chickens won't like it as much. And during the winter, you'll need 5 buckets because it takes longer to ferment in the cold. Now, hopefully, you have the tools and knowledge to chicken math a little more sustainably.